Nice. And if you don't feel good, you say, yeah, that's also good. All right, let's practice again. Okay, so we start with the question. Let's go. Let's say, як справи? Добре. Погано. Okay, so that's just a little review. Those who sent the homework, you're great, guys. Honestly, I really like pronunciation. It's perfect. I really like it. Just keep going with that. So far, the writing is also good. I just noticed some of you, for example, when you combine a and m, you would do something like that. So you skip like quite an important part. It actually should be like that if you want to write them together. Just make sure you first write a completely, and then you need to write down m completely. So you need this little, I don't know, something in between. So don't combine them, just make sure you write the first letter and the second letter. Or you can just write down something like that, you don't always need to kind of like unite them, it's also fine. So please choose either this one or the one here. Make sure there is a tail. You see what the mistake is, right? Instead of combining them, you need to make sure you write a and then you write m, so you've got something in between. The rest is good. So today we actually have more letters, and these are the letters you know from English, but they are going to be tricky ones because they actually say something else than what the English letters say. One more time, I do hope everyone, or not everyone, at least those who want to practice more, download Duolingo, and then once you press on the letters, you've got a very good practice for you, after which I guarantee you can read well, and Ukrainian letters will not be a trouble, for sure. So Duolingo, highly recommended just for letters. You don't need to go to the other part where it asks like, where is the closet, or like, where is the phone, and this kind of stuff. All right, so yeah, if you do not have this little worksheet from the last class with the letters, you can scan it now, and it's going to be the same file you had last week, the one with two types of letters. I would say the first thing is going to be real friends, and we, as I said, gonna learn fake friends today. So you got it, right? So that's the QR code, it leads to the file letters. And then you've got real friends that we had done last time, and today we will focus on false friends, just below here. So everyone scanned it, right? Did you get it? Yeah? Alright, good. Then we can keep going. So first, let's do a little review actually. So over here you've got your real friends, the one above, the one that shouldn't cause any trouble to you. Let's just name them. So let's go our 5 letters. What are our real friends? Can you name them, please? Yeah, that's good. Let's again. Ah. Okay, what else? K. M. O. T. Alright, so a bit different from English because for us we actually put lots of voice into them. So it's not silent sounds like in English. You just actually need to pronounce them. But I don't think it can cause any problem. Let's just practice again and just add more voice to that. That's pretty much it. Let's again. So it's ah like in father. Ah. Let's again. Ah. Okay. The second one is kiss. Just make sure you kind of like put the voice in. K. The next is going to be m. All right. Then born. O. And the last one t. Okay, so these are easy, shouldn't cause any trouble, and we move to those who are a bit troublesome. It's going to be our false friends. So the problem with them is that they look the same as English, but they sound different. You can choose. You either write here for your practice, or you can write on a separate paper. Just make sure you do practice writing. Or you can write on tablets if you have one. It's also up to you. So let's see, these are the letters that look the same, and maybe you can just name them. Let's kind of look at them as it was the English alphabet, and could you name the letters that look similar to you? Just in English, kind of like how you would name English letters. So the first one is going to be A, right? We know that one from the last time. What's the next letter that looks similar to English? B, yeah, that's right. So that's the one which doesn't sound B, but I will sort of it. What else? E, right? Yeah, that's the one here. What else?
A.
Which one?
A.
H, I've heard H, okay. H sounds good. What else do I have? P, okay, P is good. What else? C, thank you. Anything else? Y, that's good. And one more. X, okay, so that was English. Now we learn how to pronounce them in Ukrainian. So today we will cover how many letters? 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 letters for you today. So, Joyo, guys. Let's see. We've got what? We've got all these letters here, and I think what's going to be kind of a good thing for you to do now. Can you see over here in this file that you just opened using the QR code? You kind of have the letter, for example, V. Then what else do you have? You have like my handwriting. Just if you missed the last class and you don't know why I have 2 of them. So the first one is printed. The second one is handwriting. So the first one is something that you will see in your books. That's how all Ukrainians would write that. For now, if you feel like handwriting is too complicated for you to learn both, you just focus on printed letters. Like this one is more important for me than this one. But you need to know that both exist. And then you've got like the whole line for you to practice, and then you have like the square brackets. So over here you can actually write down the actual sounds. So for example, this letter here is going to be V, and nearby you can write down van, so you know which word you can refer to. So I guess this square part could be used for the actual pronunciation of the letter. Okay, so that's what we do now. We just go down like all these letters and we'll write down their actual pronunciation. Okay, ready? And just don't forget, Ukrainian is different from English. You need to put more voice into that. That's the only difference. We pronounce everything. So let's see. So the first letter, it's not V, unfortunately, it's V. Yeah, like V in visitor. So it's not W like English W, it's more like V. Just a bit more voice, I guess, but it's all the same going on over here. Let's again, V. And for now, just please write down. So this one is letter V. We don't practice writing yet. Just give it a bit time. Now let's move to the second letter. It looks like E, but unfortunately it's our letter A. Yeah, so if you say the word Jerry, that's the one you need. So it sounds like A in Jerry. And I feel like it's important to write down the word as well, so next time you see it, you know which pronunciation it is, because English can be pronounced different too. Okay, so this is A. And let's again, A. Alright, next thing, it's not H, it's letter N. Yeah, like nose, for example, N. And in English it would be silent, right? Like but we just pronounce the whole thing out. Let's again, N. Like N in note over here. N. Okay, so for the next letter, I actually have the whole guidance that we will see in a second, I guess. But for now, let's just pronounce as good as we can. Maybe if you do not do roaring yet, it's okay. Let's just say R. And if you feel not confident saying that letter, because obviously it's like roaring sound, which is kind of complicated if you're not a Spanish native speaker or Slavic one. But I want to tell you that not so many people, I mean, some people in Ukraine cannot say the sound either, and it's fine, honestly. Also, I just learned not that long ago, kids till the age of 4 cannot pronounce that either, because your tongue should be like very strong to be able to pronounce this sound. So most of the kids who turn like, let's say 4 years old just start to pronounce that, and the others are just like trying to do that too. It's a bit funny, but when you're a kid in Ukraine, some kids can pronounce the sound, and they would kind of like laugh at other kids who still cannot do that, and that is like a good motivation for you to practice at home. All right, we'll practice later, don't worry. And it's adults don't make fun, it's normal, just for kids. The next is our letter S. Yeah, that's good. So we've got S like in sit. Oh, I skipped R, sorry, but you know, right? So this one says R like in rabbit. R. Oh no, wait, sorry. So we don't write yet, right? You just write the pronunciation. So let's say rabbit. Okay, well, what's next? Okay, the next thing is S. Yeah, S like in sit. Let's just write down the pronunciation. So, all right, let's move to the next thing. I feel like here you need to write down the whole word for sure, because then it's kind of confusing. This letter is the letter U. U. Like boot. U. Book. U. U. Alright, ready? And the last letter looks like X, but it's not. It's letter H. H. So over here, I think it's a Scottish pronunciation. I'm not sure why they wrote it down here, but it says like H in Loch, like Loch Ness Monster, I think. It's supposed to be H. So Loch, Scottish, Loch Ness Monster. I guess it's easier if you write down H, like in how, it's up to you. But I guess they chose that pronunciation because it's more like vocal. It's not like silent how. It's more like how. If you ever see like Hollywood movies, they will make fun of that. I feel like when Russians pronounce that, when Ukrainians pronounce that, it's more like vocal, right? So let's say again. All right, I guess it's your turn. It's gonna be not that hard for now. Let's just do it this way. I'm gonna say, please repeat after me. It's gonna be V. A. N. R. S. U. H. Okay, nice. Let's see what we've got to do next. Oh, we've got to practice the R sound. So, it's all about where you put your tip of the tongue. That's all about the location of the tongue. So first I'm going to explain the best I can do, and then there's going to be the lady from YouTube that will explain one more time. Maybe her methods will work better. So what we teach usually, over here you've got the tongue, you see? And then that's your teeth, and that's like a little hole you've got over here. I'm not sure if you ever touched it with your tongue, but that's where you should do, what you should do now. So, like, behind your teeth, there's like a little hole over here, like a little, it goes in and then it goes out, so you need to put your tongue where it goes out, like there. That's the right location. And then it takes just like lots of practice pretty much. And the easiest to do so is just try to pronounce the letter, the word strip. And for English native speakers, that's where the location should be. So you could go from and that's where it should be. So that one over there is the right place for your tongue to be. Maybe let's just try to say the word strip slowly. We start with like okay, so that's the location. And then when we try to practice, I feel like sound tr 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 will be the easiest to imitate. And then, yeah, so tr tr tr. And it kind of needs to vibrate. So over time you'll feel like it's vibrating instead of being just plain, and then that's what you know you're doing great. So let's just try again. It's going to be tr tr tr. Okay, I hear some good R's. That's good. So pretty much that's it. Once you say the word tr, that's where you know your tongue should be. And then if you practice tr 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 tr, at some point you will get it. I promise. For me, it took quite a few months, I believe. I remember myself being little and practicing that. It doesn't come easy, trust me, even if it's native speakers. Ooh, the bad thing, I actually didn't save it. I didn't save the video. Oh no, wait. I will need to find it. I thought I have a link here. Same girl on YouTube. She was good. Let's see. YouTube. Russian and Ukrainian doesn't matter. It's still the same R sound, so she was quite good. Yeah, here she is. Okay, we might need to watch some commercials first. More commercials. Alright, let's see.
Brave learners couldn't pronounce it at all at first, but then succeeded with the following exercises. If you're an English native speaker, don't think you cannot do it. You can do it. Actually, I'll tell you that I've heard it many times from English speakers how they pronounce the word through. Sometimes I heard a couple of native speakers saying through, with a bit of a trilling of a R. And now, this is the word we want to use to help transform your R to R. Notice how you pronounce through. You start with the sound. Your tongue is relaxed. And to produce it, you need the flow of air. Now, as you move from the sound to the next sound, try flapping your tongue against the alveolage. And when I say alveolage, that's that little bump, little hill behind your upper teeth. Try it.
Let's try again. So So the bump, that's the right location. That's what I was looking for, the word the bump.
It's actually physics. This sound happens because of the strong airflow that comes with the sound. And to pronounce the Russian R, you also need this same kind of strong flow. And that's the key. It's actually forcing air past your tongue in such a way that the tongue vibrates. The air has to come from your lungs though, not from your throat. To check this, try saying you can feel how you have to produce air from your lungs to produce this sound. You can't.
Okay, so when you say that, you actually get the vibration. I think that's what she was going to. So it's like, sorry. I guess that's what she was going to. It's just like a vibration. You can feel it at some point. Okay, let's try to do that too. I cannot be the only one doing that. Let's go. And like kind of you can feel the vibration, can't you? And that's what we're going for, this like vibration over there in that part.
Possibly see if your lips aren't relaxed and if your air comes from here. So it's actually the same type of physics when you produce a Russian sound. Try again.
I feel like the lip vibration is good because then it leads to like the whole thing vibrating inside of your mouth.
Now you can add a vowel. Through.
Okay, she did two of them. Let's try. So the first thing she was saying sra. And the second one was like sru. Sru. Sru.
Three. Three.
Sri. Sri.
Now the next step is to transform to. Notice it's not t, but the Russian way of pronouncing t.
I guess the same. So t is just more voice than the English one t, and we will practice saying tru and other combinations. Let's say try. Three. 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 Good. I can hear some good sounds. Tra. 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 Tro. Good. Tro. Tro. Tro.
We still make sure you still produce it with a strong force of air, and only after that you can add a voiced consonant. Dra.
Dra. So she's pretty much saying something like that. Dra. 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 Dro. Next is dro. 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 Dru. Dro. Dro. Dru. Dri. So it's something like this. Dr. Dr. This is hard, right? It's like dri.
Take time to practice each step. Don't move too fast. But if you still have trouble, perhaps just...
So after that she gives she says that maybe the problem is because you need to train your tongue to make it strong. And I'm not sure about like Chinese language, if you got strong tongue or not, guys. But she's pretty much giving some exercises for the tongue to make sure it's a trained muscle at the end. So if you want to practice more, you can see what she recommends. It's lots of like gymnastics for your tongue, which makes sure it's going to be stronger. But what I recommend, just make sure you always put your tongue on this like hill, and this word is really good. I feel like you just go like, and after that, just try to pronounce that r sound as much as you can. And that's how I learned it pretty much. I remember I was a kid and I would just go around doing this like r, and that's how you come out with it. It just takes practice. It's not the easiest, for sure not. So practice at home, please, guys. And if you need any help with that, please use the video. I will see here. Alright, so we will still practice those sounds in a second. Not just sounds, but writing as well. And now it's time for you to write as well. Let's go. I will open the file because we will read some words below after each letter. Alright, and let's go. The first letter you see, can you remind me which letter that one is? V, that's good. So let's see. You pretty much, when it's printed, you just write down as English. The only difference is like the little one looks exactly like the big one. And that's letter V. And then let's see how to do the handwritten one. You just need to tilt it a bit. Sorry, messed it up. Okay, did you see it? So we start with the first line, then we make something like that, and when you write it nearby, it's gonna be like that. So make sure you write it down, and then don't forget to send me a picture in your Teams. And let's say again, this letter is gonna be letter V. V. Nice. And below here, you've got a few sounds. I'm not opening the file today, but can you make sure you look at the file too? Let's go. What's the first letter combination you see? Va. It's good. Can you see it's like v, a, va? All right. What's the next thing? That's good. Let's again. Of. What's after that? Good. Let's again. Vo. Good job. Let's again. Of. And then. Good job. Let's again. Va. And then. So this one goes like a longer word, I believe. Do you know all the letters by now? I feel like you do, don't you? So what's the first letter? K. And then A. And then V. And then A. And this one should be stressed, so let's go. K, A, V, A. Ka, Va. Let's again. Kava. And the last word is going to be. Yeah, good job. Let's go letter by letter too. So you have A, and then V, T, O. Yeah, this is stressed, so let's go A, V, T, O. Avto. Alright, and sorry, I changed the plans. I'm gonna open the file because I want you to record this one now for me, okay? So you don't do it at home, everyone can just nicely record now. I think it's a good timing. You can record using your phone or using Teams. It's up to you. Which one is that? I feel like it's here. Oh. Okay, so that's the file we are referring to. Let's practice one more time, and then please open Teams or like your audio recorder, and please record and send it to me. I will just listen. And correct it for you if I hear any mistakes. Okay, let's practice again, and then it's going to be your turn. So let's go. Va, of, vo, av, vat. Good. Let's again. Kava. Good job. Let's again. Avto. Alright. I kind of believe in you. Do you think you can do it by yourself now? No? Alright, let's practice again then. So, that's going to be the letter. And I will just write down in Latin. Alright, let's see. So, the first one is letter V, the second one is A. Right? So, let's say Va. Okay, let's move to number 2. What do you see? O, right? And then you have V again. Let's say Of. And after that you have. Good. You have V, O. Let's say Vo. After that you have Av. Let's say Av. And then you have. Good job. So it's V, A, T. Let's say again Vat. And then Kava. Yeah, that's going to be coffee in Ukrainian. Once again, Kava. And the last one is going to be the car or the vehicle. You see, avto. Okay, so let's practice. Let's go. Va, of, vo, av, vat, kava, avto. Alright, so now could you please open Teams and record it for me? I think now it should be easy. next letter, and you first help me please. Which letter is it? Yeah, that's good. Like Jerry. Remember, let's say again. Okay. And so this I feel like shouldn't cause any trouble. You can just write whatever you want to because there is no stroke order. You just kind of have to copy it pretty much the best way you could. When it comes to writing it, you go usually from the top to the bottom, and that's your letter. So it's going to be letter A in handwriting. And maybe to make sure everyone can see it, I would just play. Okay, let's see. So one more time. The next one is going to be A. And let's again A. Alright, and time to have some practice, guys. Let's see. At first, let's do it this way. You try to read, and then I will just repeat it, and then I will write it down in Latin one more time, okay? But you try first, please. So we try to do these letters here. So what do you see? What's number one? Yeah, good job. Once again, va. So it's va. What about the second one? Yeah, good. Let's say av. Good job. So you said tag. Okay. Well done. So it's cat. Okay. Nice. Let's say ma. Yeah, good. Let's say am. Yeah, that's good. Let's say at. And. Good. Let's say ag. Alright, I feel like this one is going to be easier because no real words, just two sounds. Okay, let's just name them again. So what's number one? Va. Av. Fa. Ka. Ma. Am. Ad. Ag. Oh, sorry, I forget. Okay. I was supposed to write that down. Alright, so I believe it's going to be quite easy. Could you try to record this part too? And it's better if you look at Ukrainian letters instead of looking here. This one's just like kind of cheating. Let's see, so the next letter, please name it first. What's the letter? No, right? So the printed one is just for you to copy. We go something like this. The big one is just like a small one, but smaller in size. And when it's printed, it's a bit more complicated. So we go 1, 2, wait, there are 2 ways to write it, so it's going to be, 2. And some people like it more simple like this, so it's more like a preference. And the small one goes like 1, and then you have 2. So one more time on the bigger screen, let's see. circles is like, it's the preference once you grow up. So it can be a little circle here and a bigger here, or you can just skip them and it looks like this without circles. It's also fine, so it's up to you. If you like some circles or no circles. Or the best would be just copy what I have here in the document. Let's call it a standard. So here, the steps. So it's one, and then the little one, and keep going. Okay, so let's do the same. You read first, and I'll write down. Let's try. What's the first sound you see? Yeah, that's good. So n, o. Let's again, no. Yeah, that's good. Let's again, on. Yeah, it's good. On. Nice. So it's gonna be n, na. Yeah, very good. Let's again, n, na. Well done. Let's again, n. Yeah, very good. So n, t, o, nato. Okay, and let's pronounce before you record it for me. Let's go. No. Oh, I'll return here. Okay. No. On. Na. En. Nato. Okay, it's your turn. Okay, let's move to the next letter. So the one here is the one that causes the biggest trouble, I feel like. But still, let's say r. So for now, do your best, okay? That's it. That's all you have to do. And if you want to write it down, just make sure the one which is smaller goes below the line. So that's our letter r. Sorry, letter r. And just one more time for you to see it on the big screen. Let's see how to write it. Okay, and let's see, let's practice a bit. We've got the whole line over here. So they fit now. Let's go. We start, you start, and I repeat after you. What do you see? Good. So let's say ra. Good. So let's say ra. Good. Ro. Good. R. Okay. R. Okay, or. So n, a. Good, once again, rana. Yeah, it's like a wound if you're injured. And then, good, so it's r, yeah, once again, raf. Yeah, like the tiger roar, for example. And then, good. R-O-T. Let's say rot. That's the mouth. That's good. Rak is crab, kind of. So let's again. Rak. Very good. So M, A, R, K, A, marka. That's a stem. And the gate. Can we spell the letters first? So what do you see? Good. So V, O, R, O, T, A. And the easiest would be to try to read one syllable one by one. So let's try. Vorota. That's it. So one more time. The hardest one, but I believe in you. Let's go. Ra. Re. Ro. Ar. Er. Or. Rana. Rev. Rod. Rak. Marka. Vorota. Okay, can you try your best, please? I feel like you can do 2 steps. So, like, first sounds and then the longer one. Ready. We just have 4 more minutes. Maybe let's do the R sound again. I feel like it's the hardest for now. Let's go. So you say, I repeat after you. Ra. Re. Ro. Ar. Er. Or. Rana. Rev. Rod. Rak. Marka. Vorota. Alright, so pretty much for you, you can either try to spell out the letters, so it's like ma, a, r, k, a, marka. That's how kids learn to read. Or sometimes, if you divide in the syllables, usually I show the syllables further on. So you just try to read syllable by syllable. Marka, marka. That's how kids do that. 2 ways. Either spell out each letter, r, a, k, rak, ma, a, r, k, a, marka. Or syllables, marka, marka. So that's how kids learn to read in Ukraine. Okay, so for now we just learned 4 letters. Do you feel like it's too much already, or it's good? Can you put thumbs down if it's too much of letters, or thumbs up if it's okay? Alright, then we have a short break, and after that we'll continue with the rest of letters. Those who didn't vote, I'm sorry. Okay, that's it. See you. Actually, we still have 2 minutes. Can we do S? I feel like S is easy, so we don't waste time. Okay, let's go. So S is like very easy over here on the top. You see, it goes like this, and then in handwritten it's just tilted. So you pretty much just write out C. But in Ukrainian it's S, like in sit. S. And then let's go with some letter combinations. What's the first thing you see? Yeah, okay, once again, Sa. And then? Se. Good, let's say So. And then? Good job. As. Let's say S. Yeah, that's good. Let's again, Os. Okay. Okay, and let's try to spell so maybe it's easier. S. O. N. Son. Yeah, it's a dream, like when you sleep. And then, oh, it's a mistake from the previous one, but yeah, it's okay. Rana, it's the wound, you had it before, we don't need it. Rana. And then, okay, and let's try to spell, so it's K, O, S, M, O, S. And it's here, so that's the space. And let's again, Cosmos. Cosmos. And then you have, yeah, Son again. I just did it twice, I don't know why. And the last name, Sword. It's like a sword of something, a type of something. And let's again, Sword. Alright, and I think we have a few more, but let's see. Oh, the last one is the C. It's also not supposed to be here because no S, but how do you say it? More. Okay, some are mistakes, I'm sorry. So, more. More. Alright, so we practice after the break. See you in a bit. let's continue. I just wanted to remind you, or show you if you didn't see it. I actually uploaded the audio of what we do right now over here. So it's class 1 worksheet. Oh, we started, sorry. Attention, please. Hi. We started. So over here you've got the audio. If you want to practice more at home, you can listen to the audio at home. It's all the same phrases and letters as we do now. Also, if you do not have the internet now, you can send everything later. So it's up to you, either now or before the next class. Alright, so that was letter S, and I hope you can record this part now. Let's just practice again. You say, I say after you, and then you're gonna record, okay? Let's go. So what do you see? Good, sa. Again? Sa. So. As. As. Os. Son. Rana. Cosmos. Son. So. Alright, so you've got a few words that do not belong here, but still, please record this line in Teams. Letter. Let's do it. So the next letter, please name the next letter. If it's letter U. Oh, okay, so that's going to be something imprinted. And then if you write it down, please make sure the small letter is below the line. So half of it should be below the line. And that's letter U. One more time on the bigger screen. U. Just pretty much please follow the steps here. It's going to be your handwriting. You'll send it in a second. And now let's try to read the words. So please tell me what you see. I'm going to write it down too. Yeah, that's good. Let's again. Us. Okay, let's say un. Yeah, good. Let's again. Uf. Yeah, that's good. Let's again. Vu. Good. Let's again. Tu. Okay, su. Alright, let's say mu. Yeah, very good. Let's say muka. That's something you cook with flour. Yeah, that's also good. V, n, u, k, vnuk. Yeah, that's the grandson. So, and this is U sound, long U. And let's say one more time, let's go. Us, uf, vu, tu, su, mu, muka, vnuk. Alright, please record. Alright, just one more time. Please read. I will repeat after you. So what do you see? Us, un, uf, vu, tu, su, mu, muka, vnuk. Okay, let's see if I can write it. Yeah. Alright, and the last letter is going to be letter H. Okay, so it does look like the Chanel sign a bit. So just two crosses when you see it in the book, and if you want to do the handwriting, it looks like the Chanel sign. And it's going to be sound H. Sounds gonna be the one we're gonna say, but a few of them just a revision from before. Okay, let's go. So what do you see here? Hu, ru, nu, uf, un, Okay, so some of them have nothing to do with her, right? But let's say just one time. What do you see? Hu, ru, nu, uf, and then un, and after un, and the last thing, uho. Okay, so you don't need to record that because it has nothing to do with h. It's okay, we can skip that part. Let's record the one here instead. So there are two sentences. The one says the ear is here, the arm is there. Let's try to say that. So let's go. It's going to be sound by sound, can we? So what's the first word? What do you see? It's v, and then u, h, o. And it makes, yeah, good. Let's say vuho. And the second word, Yeah, that's good. Once again. Тут. Yeah, good job. So it's R, U, K, A. Рука, рука. Там. And pretty much you can change the words to anything you want, any noun or pronoun, and then you can say any sentence. So something is here, something is there. You don't need any like be verbs. We don't have them in Ukraine. So pretty much you just say subject and it's the location here or there, and that's it. Arm is there. And let's say it one more time. It's going to be вухо тут, рука там. Let's record that. So could you just say it, please? Okay, after you did that, you can actually try to write down the whole sentence in your handwriting. So I'm going to write it for you, but please try to do it by yourself using the letters from above. So you've got вухо, тут, рука, там. But please try to do it by yourself, not using the sentence here. So, one more time, over here you have the line. You need to write down the sentence in cursive. So you can try to find the letters above. Then if you're ready, you can move to the second sentence. Pretty much you need to write down it by yourself too. We'll do it in a few seconds together. first. Can we spell out the sounds first? So you have M and then O, R, and let's say more, T, A, M, let's say thumb. So it's like the C is there and the gate is here. When you say gate, let's spell it out too. V, O, R, O, T, A, Vorota. T, U, T, here. Okay, so the C is there, the gate is here. Once again, more tam. Vorota тут. Okay, please record the sentence too. And also try to write it down. If you're done, please just take a picture and send it to me in the chat. I will check your handwriting too. If you need some extra time, just do it before the next class, that's it. If you want to practice more, you can send me anything you want within this class material. Okay, so if you're ready, just take a picture and send it to the chat, please. Any questions so far? Do you have any questions? Anyone? If you have any questions, you can also type in the chat. I will answer it before the next class. All right, so that was it. That was quite a lot of letters. I'm proud of you. Please just try to remember them at home. If both are hard for you, just focus on printed letters. That's more important for now. And that's it, guys. So no more letters today. Next class, we will actually read the whole story, and I promise you can do it next time. Just please practice. The story is easy. It will cover only the letters you know, so please try to review the letters at home. Okay, and now we actually move to the history and culture time. Remember, last time we talked about paganism, Slavs, and like old Ukraine, all of that stuff, and I want to see how much you remember. So I did this little quiz for you guys. It's gonna be here. The name of it is Class 2, Previous Class. And I will start it now. Let's say we have 5 minutes. I don't think there are many questions. It's like 8 of them. Pretty much you will finish that and then we will discuss the answers you got. Oh, just 6 questions. Okay, I think 5 minutes should be enough. Just make sure you enter it. So one more time, it's going to be Class 2, Previous Lesson. That's your quiz. So, a little quiz of 6 questions. everyone have a test? Oh, you don't, guys. I'm not sure why, but it's okay. We will do it later together, okay? So if you have any internet problems or whatever, don't worry. I just want you to know the answers at the end. That's pretty much the purpose of this test. You have submitted. Did everyone want to submit it by now? No? Oh, okay. I'll wait. Alright, I guess it's time. I will stop it here. And I just wanted to say, if you don't like your final result, just don't get, I don't know, upset about it, because it doesn't matter. It's just like the proportion to your answer is not an actual final mark. So what you see should not upset you at all. And let's just go one by one. So I hope you all remember that Ukrainians trace the origins of Ukraine from the oldest time possible. So it's the 8th century, and in that time the region was called Scythia, and that's the region where different tribes lived. Do you remember any tribes that lived there at that time before Slavs did? There were 2 of them that were mentioned in the presentation. So we had Gothic people and also Sarmatians. So there are like some tribes that lived there before Slavs came. Slavs came later. These guys were there before. And at that time it was called Scythia, and it's traded stuff with ancient Greek, so it's pretty an old place at that time. Alright, so then Slavic people came. Maybe we can start with this question. When did Slavic people come? Yeah, it's over here. So they came around the 5th century from southwest, and they settled. Which place did they choose for their settlement? Yeah, Dnipro, and that's the river we Ukrainians are proud of. It's like the biggest river in our country. So Dnipro River is where they settled. All right, and then the Slavic communities, I hope you did know they did all of that. They did hunting, fishing, animal raising, and also agriculture. They did all of that. I hope you chose that. Over here, so is it 1 or 2? 1, and that's the one, please remember, because that's the Ukrainian language. The other one is Russian language, so that's how we Ukrainians prefer it to be. Okay, so then we will talk about some paganism beliefs today too. It's a bit complicated, I feel like. Which one did you choose? B? Yeah, that's right. So remember, they had lots of different gods, and today we will talk about some spirits. So gods were like the gods of fire, the gods of thunder, right? The gods of water, and so on. And then which language is the closest to Ukrainian? Belarusian, that's right, not Russian as many people assume. Do you remember the numbers? How close is Belarusian to Ukrainian? Yeah, it's more than 80%. And what about Russian? 68. So 68% of similarities with Russian, which is just as much as Portuguese and French have, not that high. All right, that was it, your little quiz. Mark doesn't matter, as I said before. And we keep talking about paganism. Do you remember this lady? She talked about the gods, and she will continue talking about different spirits. So let's watch the video again. I think the stops right here. Let's see.
God of her might, the famous book of Vele, Sahinia, is an actress of the earth. Vodyanui was a tutelary deity of waters. He was represented as an old man with a high cap of reeds on his head and a belt of rushes around his waist. The Buddha belt of rushes.
Alright, so usually all the spirits are believed to be in the forest. So most of them that you will see live in the forest. The first guy, as you can kind of guess, is from the water. And then the descriptions usually come from little different folk stories. So she kind of describes him for us as well. And his name is Vodyany in Ukrainian. It's a bit different. So his name is Vodyany. And he's like a spooky guy that lives in the water, and he can kidnap you and kill you. If he's in a good mood, he's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine, sorry. And then he likes to eat the butter. So sometimes if you want to talk to him, you just need to have like some bread with butter, and he will come over if you want to talk to him.
Was around his waist. To ingratiate themselves with him, Slavic fishermen sacrificed butter in water, while millers sacrificed sows.
So as she said, usually the fishermen wanted to kind of make him kinder. That's why they would put some butter so he wouldn't kind of like eat the fishermen and let them fish. So they're just like folk stories, right, from different books, and that's something the old people believed in.
Rusalka.
Alright, so this lady over here, it's a mermaid, obviously. And maybe in Disney it's cute, in our world it's not cute at all. So that's Rusalka in Ukrainian. And what she was famous for, she would actually kind of trap young, handsome men, and she would make them laugh, and that's how they will die. So she's not nice at all. And at first, if the man is in the forest, she will pretend that she's like young and beautiful, and then all of a sudden she would kind of like kidnap and like make you laugh and then kill you. That's her.
Mavka, Boginka.
And over here she names 3 different characters actually. So Rusalka is the mermaid. Mavka in Ukrainian tradition is completely different. So let's just focus on Rusalka, which is mermaid.
They had many names, and they were tutelary deities of waters. These little goddesses were conceived as the spirits of dead children or young women. They were usually represented as half-naked beautiful girls with long hair. They lived in waters and woods, and they giggled, sang, played music, and clapped their hands. They were so beautiful that they bewitched young men and could bring them to death by throwing them into deep water.
Alright, so something else she mentioned, usually they're young ladies that were drowned, like killed by the water, so they became mermaids in afterlife. And then they would kill the man by kind of like tickling them or making them laugh, and then they would make them drown as well as a punishment. Alright, so that's our mermaids in our tradition. And the next guy is like the biggest spirit in the forest, I believe. I think it's him, let's see.
Leshy.
Alright, so in Russian he's called Leshy. For us, he's called Chuhaista. So the name is different, the guy is the same. Chugaista is in Ukrainian tradition, and he's the one who was like the father of the forest.
Leshy was the tutelary deity of forest. He was represented as an old man with long hair and beard, with flashing green eyes. To secure his protection, people who lived near woods sacrificed cows and salted bread to him. Leshy could manifest in the form of animals, such as bears, wolves, and hares. How did Slavs?
So again, if you want to talk to him, you need to have some bread, as she said, and then he would come over. And also, for some people, you kind of can play the flute, and then he will also show up. And he was like a good guy, so if you ever need some help from him, you need to play the flute, he can come over and he can kill the mermaid for you. So he's like a good guy in our beliefs. And he also grills other bad spirits. Alright, so these are like the most important ones in our belief. We've got Vodyanay that lives in the water, the mermaid, which is the bad spirit, and then I have a good one, which is Chuhaista. The one she didn't mention, but is kind of important, is Mavka. You will see her in a second. But these are our important spirits over here. Alright, now let's see what else she has to say.
Worship their deities. The Slavs were serving their gods in wooden temples or in holy places with no buildings, where the deity was believed to manifest in nature itself. Slavic gods were often depicted in large wooden idols. Unfortunately, archaeological data about the idols is very limited. Most of the pagan sanctuaries were destroyed during the forceful Christianization of the Slavs. On the screen, you can see the famous Zbruch idol. It is a 9th century sculpture and one of the few monuments of pre-Christian Slavic beliefs. This idol is located in the Archaeological Museum of Krakow in Poland. And this is it for today's lesson. Please let me know in the comments if you found...
Alright, so that's it. Last time you did ask some questions about how would they do the rituals. So she mentioned some, like there would be some wooden sticks that would represent the gods, and unfortunately not so many of them were saved because they got destroyed after Kievan Rus was baptized when everyone went under the Christianity. Just a few of them are left. For example, one of them is the one in Poland, in Krakow. Alright, so just one more time, we'll go through some of the most important spirits because I do hope you remember them. One more time, it's a huge part of Ukrainian folklore and tradition, and usually when we talk between friends, we can mention some of these as a joke or like unstable phrases. So they still kind of like a big part of our culture. We talk about them sometimes for a joke. And let's see them. So the one she didn't mention, but she's very important in Ukrainian tradition, is Mavka. So Mavka is like a beautiful girl, but she might be good or bad. It depends on her mood. And usually she's the one that will kind of like laugh and kind of make some naughty things in the forest. So again, depends on her mood. She's either a good thing to meet or a bad thing. There are lots of stories in Ukrainian that depict her. So she's one of the famous ones. And maybe just one more time, let's say her name. Her name is Mavka. Alright, so she's very important in our folk tradition. Then this guy, Chuhaister, who is the father of forest. So he's the one that will come over if you play the flute, and then he's also the one, if you need help, he's the one who will help you. So actually he can deal with mermaids and mavkas. He can kind of like control them. So if you're ever in trouble, he's the one for you to look for. The other way, you can try to offer him some bread, and then he will come over as well. People believe in that. And maybe just one more time, let's say his name again. His name is Chuhaister. Okay, so he's a good guy in the forest. He controls the forest and makes sure everyone is safe. Okay, that's one of the spirits. Let's see. That's actually how we use it in nowadays, even in the ads. So over here, it's the example of folk in the commercials. So as you remember, Chuhaister over here, Chuhaister, he's a good guy. So over here you can see the commercial from our bank, which is called the private bank. So Chuhaister, it says you can get some presents from Chuhaister in the app Private 24, which is like the private bank. It's like a joke, just meaning that like you can get some presents pretty much, but they added some folk into that, so it's kind of like a cuter way to do that. And if you translate this part, it's going to be Chuhaister is the man in the forest, but we also have Chuhaister, and he doesn't live in the forest. He actually prefers shops. He likes the best sales, and he offers you one. So do you want the present from Chuhaister? It's kind of like a joke, but I just thought it's a good example of like how Ukrainians use folk in real life. Alright, so one of the examples, and then we've got Vodyanek. So you could call him Vodyanej or Vodyanek, it depends. He's not a good guy, you don't want to meet him either. But you can talk to him, so if you're a fisherman, you can give him some butter, and then he will let you fish in his pond, and he will let you live. So, Vodyanek. And let's say, so again, his name is Vodyanek. Great. And you can also see him in Russian folk, in Polish folk. It's pretty much our Slavic traditions and our Slavic spirit. You can see him a lot in the cartoons for kids, for sure. He's one of the most famous characters too. And then the mermaids. So mermaids, unfortunately, are not good characters for us. There are those who were drowned, and there are those who would tickle you until you die, especially if you're a young, handsome man. That's what they're hunting for. Let's say the mermaid in Ukrainian is going to be Rusalka. Yeah, that's the one, Rusalka. And now I wanted to introduce the book by Lesia Ukrainka, who is one of the most famous authors in Ukraine. So she was one of those who would actually use the folk characters in her books, and they're all beautifully written. So if you want to read one of those, it's translated in English, and you can use the QR code later. It's the whole book. She's considered to be a genius of Ukrainian literature, for sure. Even though she was very sick as a kid, she got some lung disease, so she wasn't capable to move properly during her life, and she has spent all her life writing, and she has a lot of beautiful literature. It's all in the form of poetry, so especially if you like poems, that's a good piece of reading for you. So Lesia is the name, Ukrainka is the surname. And the book she wrote in 1911 is called Mafka. So pretty much it's a love story between the village boy, whose name is Lucas, and then Mafka herself. He came into the forest, they fell in love, and he promised her that they're gonna be forever together. But unfortunately, one day he left to the village. She followed him, and she saw that he got married with a human girl, like a real girl from the village. And she got very upset, and she died after that. So that's the story Leslie Ukraine wrote, based on the folk stories. A very beautiful piece of reading. I hope you will enjoy reading in English too. I didn't have a chance to see it in English, but in Ukrainian, I promise it's a very beautiful thing to read. It's the story that is influenced by paganism and all the Slavic traditions. Very beautiful story. And quite interesting that they actually made a cartoon out of that. Did you see it? In 2023, it's kind of a new cartoon. Ukrainians and Canadians made a cartoon in 2023. Did you see it? Did you have a chance? No? Okay. So that's the one. As you can see here, you've got Mafka in 3D, and it's called Mafka the Forest Song. So it's our animation studio called Animagrad, and they collaborated together with the Canadian filmmakers, and they made the movie. Quite a good movie. I actually uploaded it to your iClass, so if you're interested to see, the quality is a bit bad. I'm sorry for that because it's not official, but you can still watch it over here. So that's the cartoon about the spirits, based on it's here. So cartoon Mafka, and you can watch it. It's actually on YouTube as well this year already. So if you don't mind commercials, you can watch it on YouTube as well. And just to make it a bit more inspiring for you to watch later, let's see what's the name, like the short clip from it.
The time has come for me to tell the full truth.
Okay, so it's in 2023 and based on the story, but they added some Hollywood parts, I would say. So it's not a complete story. They adapted it a bit, but it's based on the original story written by Leslie Ukraine.
The battle all those winters ago. Humans and the forest alike. Fire and hatred without end.
Hi, my name is Lucas. It says you'll pay well.
You can't waste your money on me. I'm old.
So what do I have to do?
Find me the tree with this leaf.
I would just stop. I think it's quite interesting and describes Ukrainian culture a lot. So in this story, she was looking for the leaf to keep herself young forever. And here you do use Chinese medication based on herbs and stuff, right? For us as well, Ukrainians do believe in the power of the nature, and we also kind of like collect the herbs, and for us it's also the big part of past and nowadays as well. So that shows a bit. She was looking for the leaf, like the main character, to keep herself young forever.
Here?
Okay, so this guy over here, he was protecting the forest, and his name is Chumeister, so he's the one, the father of the forest.
Stop croaking about the law of the forest. Maybe it's time for things to change.
People say that behind the dark mountain, the water nymphs and tree spirits can tickle you to death.
Okay, and then he was walking with those guys, and he said, like, the spirits can tickle you to death, so he was worried to go into the forest. And over here you have the mermaid. She will show you how she tickles those men.
Hello, sir.
You're laughing and laughing, and then...
So, what stopped you?
Alright, so a very short clip. She was like first nice and beautiful, and then all of a sudden she turned into the monster and kind of killed them.
These squirrels? The forest demons? I am not a demon.
we came back from the forest empty-handed.
I knew that all humans were selfish and greedy.
But they also gave me something I've never felt before. Her music is the real magic.
Stop the forest killer!
Now my heart is full of something that will never die.
The only magic humans have is love.
Alright, so they made it a bit more Hollywood-like. It's not too Ukrainian, I would say, but still there are lots of Ukrainian aspects here. One of them is
Never felt before.
this instrument over here. It's the flute, obviously. In Ukrainian, we call it sopilka. And sopilka is the one that can kind of like break the bad magic as well. So if there are any spirits and you play sopilka, then you would kind of kill the bad magic. He was using that, and it kind of called her in, so this kind of stuff. So quite a lot of cute Ukrainian, like inspired things you can find in this movie. I do recommend to watch it if you like something more like Hollywoody, but we'll watch some typical Ukrainian cartoons later on too. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today. I hope you can spend some time reading about Ukrainian folklore characters. So it will be a quiz next time, but it will be very short. Over here you can find the Instagram post. So please, when you go on the metro, just like scroll and read about some of the Ukrainian folklore characters. That's it. So the spirit is for you for the next time. You got a few more of them. So the post on Instagram is gonna look like this. It's gonna be folklore characters, and then you have a little introduction, and then mermaids, Chuvaysta, a few more, like Barahenia, and a few more of them. So please read about them. Not too many. And I did upload that to your iClass already, so you can check the homework over here. Okay, over here. Please review the letters, then please read the Instagram post on folklore characters in Ukraine, and then if you want to do an extra, you can record the phrases or text from your worksheet, and then you can also watch the cartoon. So that's an extra optional. And that's it for today. So let's see who was here today, and it's time to say goodbye. Number is 5790. If you do have any questions, please feel free to text me.